In the short term, Gerry, Joe wants to coach this weekend. Should he be able to?
I say no, and I say no for this reason. Joe has always portrayed himself as a teacher, as an educator. He has an opportunity to perhaps to teach his most valuable lesson. I don't think a lot of people get it. I don't think the students on campus get it. I think they still think this is about football. How about this scene Saturday? Joe's going to come out on the field, and 100,000 people are going to cheer for him. I wonder how the victims will feel at that particular moment. The only person that can put this in perspective for some people is Joe Paterno. Those that idolize Joe, those that think that Joe hasn't done anything wrong, those that will be cheering on Saturday when he takes the field, the only way you're going to get through to them, to make them understand, is for Joe to say, I don't deserve to be the center of attention. I don't deserve to be in that stadium Saturday. And if you're ever in the situation that I was put in, where I hear something about child abuse and sexual child abuse, I hope you'll act better than I did. I don't deserve to be there. I'm going to teach my final lesson, and I'm going to ride off into the sunset.
Well, it's interesting you say that about lesson, because you have to think that coaches often tell you his character is doing the right thing even when people aren't watching. So I have to think that in 46 years, at some point, Joe delivered that message to his players. And knowing and understanding that, I too agree with you, Coach. I think there's absolutely, unequivocally no way that he can coach on Saturday. I understand the fact that he likes to be there for his players. I get the fact that he wants to be there on senior day. But I think that there's just no way that he can do it given the circumstances, given what we know, the empirical data. There's just absolutely no way. You got to remove yourself from that situation and try to come back and do at least the right thing for this week.
He's always been there for his players. It's about time he's somewhere for someone else, and that is the victims, and that is the students on campus that really don't get it. They still make light of this, and in my estimation, are disrespectful to this whole situation because they still think it's about football, and it's not about football.
But he plans on being there as of right now. What is he going to say to his team? I mean, can you even – obviously you don't believe he should be there, so can you even put yourself in the shoes of Joe Paterno giving a message to his team?
I'm not sure the team needs his message necessarily. I mean, I'm not sure that the assistant coaches can't handle this. You move on. When someone gets injured, you move on. When a coach doesn't show up for extenuating circumstances, you move on. The impact that Joe's going to make on game day in that game, I think is insignificant. The impact he could make on the nation, the impact he could make on the victims by saying, I don't deserve to be there, I think that's significant.
In the well-being and the protection of our children out there and our offspring. I think here's the message that he'll deliver to his guys is that you can allow this crisis to either break us apart or pull us together. Keep your eye on the prize. That's getting to Indianapolis. But you got to think that some of that's going to be received with a little turbulence. These players are human beings also. They have empathy for the victims. And so I think that message may be lukewarm. Yes, they revere their coach. He's taught them a lot of messages. They've learned a lot from him. But you got to think, too, that their heart goes out to the victims as well.
Joe's the one guy who, if you miss English class, you don't play. I mean, he's always done the right thing. He's always taught the right lessons. There's no bigger platform he's ever had in his entire coaching life than he has this week and this Saturday.
Well, he has already addressed the team today, so he has already begun to convey whatever messages he wants to convey. Let's listen in, get a sense from the players as to what that message was.
His message was basically what I said before. He's given everything to this university, and you can really tell where his heart and soul was, and that was to this university, to the fans, and everything like that. But he just wanted us to concentrate on these next 5 games.
And he just told us as a team, no matter what happened this year, next year, always stay together as brothers.
Just continue to be great young men. Continue to stay focused. Continue to have good character, and that's things he's been teaching us this whole time.
Now you listen to the players, obviously a very tough time for them, and they are in the middle of this, particularly the guys for whom it's senior day. I mean, this is the last home game for these guys, Chris. take me into their shoes as best as you can. I mean, what's it going to be like for them with essentially this circus going on?
Well, they're torn emotionally. And I think, but when you play this game is still played with and fueled by emotion. And so I think they're going to use that as a charge. And if I'm a player in that locker room, they're going to play for their coach. We know that. But they're going to play for their brother. They're going to play for their teammate, their locker mate. And those are the guys who are going to go out. They still know that they have so much to accomplish. They're not going to lose sight of that. But we're kidding ourselves if you don't think that they are staring at these blemishes, staring at these distractions. So the key is, can they pull some adhesion together and bond and get over this?
The seniors will not be the center of attention if Joe's at that game. And on senior day, the seniors should be the center of attention.
It's a difficult time for those seniors, difficult time, in fact, I think it's safe to say for all of the Nittany Lions players.